Hello class, welcome to this week's video. This week's video we're going to do SSH configurations. We're going to do an SSH configuration on the switch right here, as well as this router. Now we could test the switch when we're done. We cannot test the router because we'll have to wait until next week's configurations. We're going to build on this topology as the weeks go by, so we're going to do segments at a time. So let's get into SSH. There are a few things you need to have for SSH configuration. You need to have an enable secret password configured. You need a domain name configured. You need a username and password configured. You need to have SSH enabled. And you need to put the configuration on the VTY lines. So let's start this. So we're going to go into config T. Put this in configuration mode. We're going to do the enable secret class. We're going to do the service password, so everything's encrypted with the show run. We are going to also need to create crypto keys. So let's do the IP domain name lookup. We're going to do CISS-166.com. That's going to be our domain name. So we have the enable secret, we have the IP domain name configured. Now we have to do the crypto keys. RSA, general keys, modulus 1024. Now that's our encryption pattern. So now we have that. Now we can make sure that our IP SSH is version 2. We could verify this by doing a do show IP SSH, and you see we're enabled version 2. 120-second timeout, as well as we have 3 tries to log in. So now we got the enable secret done. We have the domain name created. We have the crypto keys generated. Now we need to create a username and password with it. So we're going to do username. We're going to call it admin. Password will be Cisco. So now we got our username and password. Now let's go ahead and do the line VTY config. It's a switch, so it's 0 and 15. So we're going to look at this stuff. So we have all these options here. So we're going to do the login. So let's do login. We have authentication, which we could use with when we create AAA. That's going to be later down the road. So right now we want to do local. Local will do the local database, so the username we just created. So we're going to do local. We're going to do transport input SSH because we want it to be SSH. We're also going to do output SSH. Okay, so there we go. All right, so if we do a show run, we'll come down here. We have our enable secret. We have our SSH version 2. We have our domain name. We have our username, password. We have our line VTY configs. So there we go. We have our login local. So we login local, and that'll allow us to use the database. So there's one more thing we have to do, is we have to do the create the IP address to log into. So we're going to go int VLAN 1. We're going to do IP address. Since our IP address for the PC is 10.0.10.50, we're going to do 10.0.10.2, 255.255.255.0. No shut. Now as you see, the VLAN came up. So now let's do a ping test to make sure we can reach the PC for connectivity. If we can't reach the PC, we're not going to be able to log in. So now, we're going to go to the PC. We're going to go to our desktop. We're going to do the Telnet SSH client. The IP is 10.0.10.2. Our username was admin. Now we're going to connect. Now it's asking for a password. Now we've just logged in using SSH into our switch, and we can configure it any way we want to now without actually consoling into the device. So that's SSH for the switch. And as you see, it works. We could get into it. Now let's go ahead and configure the router. It's going to be the same way, minus the line VTYs will be different. So let's create our enable secret class. We are going to do the IP domain name CISS-166.com. We are going to do our crypto key generate RSA general keys. God, I keep putting that R in front of the N. Modulus 1024 IP SSH version 2. Doesn't like that. IP SSH version 2 because I didn't put a space there. All right, so we got the enable. We got the crypto keys generated. Now we need to do the username and admin. So let's do username, admin, password, Cisco. So we got the username. Now let's do the line VTY config. And since it's a router, it's only 0 space 4, whereas switch was 0 space 15. So we're going to do login, local again. We're going to do transport, input, SSH, transport, output, SSH. Let's do a show run. Now we can't test it because we'll be doing later configs. We'll test it when we get there. So we have our hostname configured. We have our enable secret configured. We have our username and password configured. We have our VTYs configured. We have login local, transport, input, output, SSH. The only thing I want to update on this is the service password encryption. So there we go. So that's how you configure SSH on switches and routers. Thank you, and we'll test the configuration for the VTY when we get the router and the switch communicating. If you have any questions, please let me know. Have a great day. Thanks.